about 2 years ago, I decided to remove my boobs forever. Thank you. Thanks. It's a choice you can make. It was decided for me a few years before that. My sister and I own a business together, and we were trying to sell the business. So she set us up with a bunch of strangers, and we kept having meetings. And for one of the meetings, she was like, "Coop, these guys are kind of conservative, so you might want to doll it up a little bit." Thank you. Which it's really funny if you ever saw or met my sister, because she's the most homosexual person, the butchest. Like it's weird. She's very left of masculine. So she said to me, "You got to doll it up for these, I don't know, what are they, like Christian right-wing hater? I don't know what." But she's like, "Figure it out." And I was like, "Oh, damn it." She's older and bossy. So I went home, and I was just like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I would dress. I wouldn't know. And I was just like tossing and turning, stressing out. I fell asleep, and in the morning, I knew what to do. I had to separate my boobs. Because I'm a gay, and when I used to have boobs, I just had the one. It's a choice that my people make. Just squish it and unify it. It's a style. It's very popular in the Northwest. But I woke up, I was like, oh, what would a lady do? A lady would have two boobs. Yeah, I got this. And I called my sister, and I was like, you're on. And then I was like, well, what do I do? And I went to Nordstrom. That's where the answers are. And I walked in there, and I just remember going there as a kid with my mom, and there was just bras and all these colors and things, and I used to push the pushy ones in, just like it was a cool place. But I went there, and I just scooped up a handful of whatever my normal onesie size is. And I just didn't think, I was like, this is not going to be a big deal. It's like normally I go to Target and just like, toothpaste, Windex, bra. You don't even look. It's just like a refill. You're like, I got this. It's not a thing. Non-event. Well, at Nordstrom. So I grabbed these things, and I'm heading to the back to go check it out. And this little tiny voice behind me is like, oh, honey, would you like to have a fitting? And it was, some of you know, it is the worst thing that could ever happen. And I turned around, and it was like a really tiny lady. I was like, huh? And she was like right below. She was so cute and short. And she's like, do you want to have a fitting? I'll measure you. And she like had this tape, and I was like, oh no. I'm just gonna go in the dressing room, and I'll try these all on, and one of them will fit. Okay. And I just like kind of backed away and turned and went to the dressing room. And I swear to God, when I got in the dressing room, she was in the dressing room. Just like, what? And I was like, oh. And she said, okay, now take off your shirt. And she's just shutting the curtains. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. And somehow my shirt's off. She's got this thing, and she just like, whoosh, it's around my body. And she's got her hands all over me. And I was like, what's happening? Oh. And her just like really tiny, bony, little, sweet little old just pushing here. And I was like, this hurts. And she did this thing where she's just like, it was really scary. And she did this thing where she kind of went like this. And then she did it on the side, like, and I was like, what? Ooh. And then she just like pulls her little thing back, and she's like, those will fit. The ones you have there will fit, and just like floats away. And I was like, oh. And just like naked. It was awful. It was the worst thing. And it was upsetting. So I went home, and I called my mom. And I was like, Mom, I was in Nordstrom. I never go there. And this terrible woman was in the Mom. And then she went like this and this and this. And, this. And my mom was like, oh, honey, those are your boobs. And I was like, no, I just put on a little bit of weight. It was just on the side. And my mom was like, yeah, that's where your boobs are now. What? I didn't even say goodbye. I was like, I can't. This is not, whew. And I made the decision right there. And it was like, this is not a medical thing. I had a good friend who a few years before had just showed up in Portland without any more boobs. And I was like, oh, okay, do you want me to call you he? Or like, what, are you okay? Is it medical? And she was like, nah, I just didn't like him. What? You do what? And she's like, I got a surgery. You know, it's like, what? Okay, I didn't know. So I had that in the back of my mind. And then when this happened, I was like, oh, I know what the fuck to do now. Just get rid of them, you know? Because they were kind of on the way out, you know what I mean? They were just like, you know what I'm saying? It was donezo. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I have never worn a bra since they took them. I don't have to. And whenever my sister dolls it up, I just kind of like spread my shirt. Just like, yeah, how's that bra, sis? And she's like, oh, Ayana. Anyway, thank you.